good? What's good? I am back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast. And we about to bring on our special guest for the night. He will be entering back into the squared circle for BKC Fight Night Hammond. And that's June 26, 8 p.m. Eastern time at the Hammond Casino in Hammond, Indiana. And he'll be fighting Ronnie Hauser. Let's bring on the one and only Justin Nightmare Street.
What's
Justin,
up,
how
brother?
you doing, man?
Good. How are you
You
doing,
just
brother?
got
Thank you for having me.
yes. You just got done working out.
Y'all still here, baby. Grind never stops.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I ain't gonna take up too much of your time, then, man. I know you got to get back to it, man.
No, you're all good, brother.
So, for people just getting introduced to you, who is Justin the Nightmare Street?
Number 8, bantamweight in the world. I'm here. The nightmare's here to stay, baby. Everyone that needs to know me. I'm a father at heart, and a fighter at night. So I mean that's just how the world goes and how the cookie crumbles.
So the nickname the Nightmare, where'd that come from?
My uncle Mike.
Okay.
Yep. So when I first started boxing, whatever else, my uncle Mike was the one who introduced me to it, and he always told me, you got to put the nightmare in people. You got to put that fear in them. You put that fear in your opponent. Your last name Street. You got to live up to that. We're the nightmare. You got to put that fear in. So he told me before every fight, he'd give me that slap across the face and make me, tell him who I was. So that's just how it started.
So you originally started in MMA. A lot of the BKFC guys have, and
Now,
you had a really good amateur. You said what?
I started in boxing
Oh,
and
you
then made
started
the transfer
boxing?
over to
Okay.
yeah. I did 7 years boxing and then I made the transfer over to MMA after 7 years after I was robbed in Golden Gloves for the third time. So
Okay.
that was the second time
So then,
returning
then you go.
champion.
Okay, I
Okay.
didn't see no information about you boxing when I pulled it up. It just said that you was in MMA before BKFC.
Yeah. I had 13 years long in MMA. I had a nice, impressive amateur career. I was 12-2. I was the number one bantamweight in the state of Michigan and number one flyweight. And then I decided to go pro. I think I was 5-6 as a pro. But again, I was a stand and bang fighter. So MMA wasn't really home for me due to the grappling and everything else. Nobody would stand with me. So when I got the chance to go to bare knuckle and get my name out there in a different platform, I took that opportunity, and the rest is history. I mean, my first fight that I was scheduled to fight didn't work out. My opponent ended up going to jail or whatever else. So then I made my comeback for the second time. I ended up having an impressive win against Anthony Sanchez in New Mexico for my debut to come back and finally get my revenge against Rambo in Hollywood, Florida. I fought Justin Ibarola, Nathan Rivera. So like the name, I've fought in the big names. I've been in the big squared circle with the big names, and I'm still here and still grinding.
Yeah, I was looking at the fights that you had, and I was thinking you had one of the toughest schedules for your division, I would say.
In the absolutely bantamweight division, we're a stacked division, that's for sure.
So, and you had a couple. They got you as a flyweight, but you mainly fighting bantam now, right?
Yeah, no, I've been bantamweight. I only have one 145 fight, and that's where I jumped up to fight Nathan Rivera on a 2 weeks notice. Other than that, all my fights have been bantamweight. I'm not too sure as to why they have me ranked as a flyweight, but that's still some yet time to come.
And I also noticed you've only had one fight at your home crowd, correct?
Yeah, yep, here in Michigan back last November.
So is it Is it make it any tougher having to go into somebody else's home and beat them in front of the home crowd?
Not at all, man. I mean, that's what we live for. We're not in the business to make friends. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, we're here for business. And when you have to go into someone else's backyard and make your name known, it's just more of ammunition or more fuel that motivate you to go in there and be your best. To know that you got to go out on top.
So you were talking about your first fight with Sanchez, and I was watching it earlier. Like, what felt different immediately, once you started that fight?
Um, Honestly, for me, it was I had to absorb to the crowd. Once I
Okay.
adapted to the crowd and realized exactly where I was and the differences between um, that little bit of an inch that the glove or not having a glove makes. I mean, once I figured that out and was able to make my adjustments, I was able to start getting that snowball rolling downhill. But I would definitely say it brought me back to I felt like it was my first amateur fight all over again. You had to get
Okay.
gritty, had to dig deep. Yeah.
And so you had two back-to-back losses, but like in between those losses, you what was going through your mind for you to bounce back and get these two back-to-back wins that you had?
Um, Knowing that where I stand, I definitely believe that I am the best 135er in the world. And I've yet to be able to showcase my complete skill set. The best of me is yet to come. And, we're still grinding and we're still on the drawing board and we're still making improvements. Even though it's been a long 23-year career, I'm still making improvements and still adjusting and bettering myself. To be at that top tier level where I belong. I definitely feel that this next fight coming up June 26th, I'm definitely going to be able to showcase that and move up, while I move up the rankings. I would definitely like to see either Jamel Hearing, Nathan Maines, Royal Reben Reber. I mean, give me any of those guys. Like I'm the top 135er, and it's time for everyone to know that Justin the Nightmare Street, is the number one in the world, and that belt belongs around my waist.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, are you into calling guys out? But you just called out three guys, so that answers my question.
I mean, I'll call out the whole division if you ask me to, but I mean, at the end of the day, the man of the hour who makes that call and makes it all happen, and you know, makes the shots, that's Nate Shook. So um, it's all up to him at the end of the day. But regardless of who he puts me in front of, I'm going to impress him. So I want that bullseye on my back.
So you recently signed with okay. You recently signed with a new management, which was a New Breed Performance Group. Why did you decide to go with them?
Brandon Gold. Brandon Gold is the man. If it
Okay,
wasn't for
okay.
If it wasn't for Brandon, I don't feel like my career would be on the high rise. So I definitely give a huge shout out to Brandon Gold and Justin Martinez. Um, for keeping managing and starting New Breed. I was with Brandon over at Store Management. He was a big reason why I signed with Store Management to begin with. So when they had when he wanted to start his own management team, I was definitely on board, and it was just a matter of time waiting for him to start that up, so that because I'm Brandon's guy.
That's what's up. Shouts out to him, and definitely shouts out to my guy Justin Martinez as
Absolutely.
well. So let's get into your opponent, Ronnie Hauser. Ronnie Hauser. What do you know about this guy?
He hasn't felt bare knuckles yet. I mean, he's only been in there for 15 seconds. Caught the guy with a sloppy left hook. I mean, there's really nothing impressive to talk about. Uh, I hope he's ready for a long haul because he ain't catching me with nothing sloppy, and he definitely ain't knocking me out. Anyone who stands in front of me
Does
is
it
going
upset you a little
to.
bit that the bet? Does it upset you a little bit that the betting odds have him favored over you?
It's always that way. I mean, he's the hometown guy, of course. They're going to favor him a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but me going into any fight, I mean, this is how it is. I'm always the underdog going into a fight, and that's just more motivation to fuel me going in. But again, as soon as he feels my bare knuckles, I guarantee you his whole demeanor changes whether he wants to be in there or not.
So with a guy like this, like you said, he ain't even really fought a fight. You just got to make sure you stick to your game plan and not really even focus on him so much, right?
Yeah, I'm not worried about him at all. I know. I've had a long career. I mean, I've been doing this shit for 23 years. I definitely believe in my skill set. And like I said, I'm only improving. I'm only getting better. So, I've seen it all. I've been in there against all different types of fighters, different styles. So I mean, there's really nothing that Ronnie Hauser has that's any different than anything that I've seen in 23 years. So it's just a matter of me sticking to my skill and my skill set and the game plan that we have going in moving forward and um, putting the shots on them, touching them up. And, like I said, if, going against me, you better expect a nightmare because we're going to be in there for a 5-round war. And if you can't handle that 5-round pressure, then what I'm saying, you can take the easy route out and you can fold. But I'm gonna put that pressure on you for 5 rounds for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes of fight. And what I'm saying, I'm putting 10 minutes of pressure on you. And I'm gonna be in your face, I'm gonna be walking you down, and I'm gonna be touching you up with jabs, I'm gonna be touching you up with right hands, and I'm gonna be taking it to you. So like that nightmare pressure, I don't think many fighters can sustain. And like I said, I believe in my skill set, and I hope Rodney Hauser's putting in the same amount of work that I am.
I was watching your fight, and like you said, you steadily keep coming forward. And Chris Lytle kept stressing something that about how you always would have your waist aligned with the fighter's waist. For an amateur like me, can you explain why that is?
Yeah, so the reason why I keep my waist in front of you is because as boxers, we have 3 lines of defense: your jab, your lead foot, and your right hand, your rear hand. Those are your 3 lines of defense. So the more that you're able to keep, your hips in front of your opponents, the more you're able to keep him squared up with that first line of defense. And the minute that he crosses that first line of defense, that's when he starts eating second and third. So
Yeah.
that's why I can see, I keep that pressure. And I'm gonna stay in. I like to stay in the person's face. I believe in my counter game. I love to counter. And the only way to get your opponent to throw strikes is by staying in their face. So,
Do you think you feel more at home in bare knuckle compared to MMA?
100%. Stand and bang is my game. That's what I've always been known for. Is my stand-up game. I've always been known as to be the best striker. So I mean that's just I got to live up to that now, and I got to instead of just showing my gym training partners or any gym that I go to, I need to show the world, and that's the step that I'm taking forward now.
So you're fighting Bantam. I've been saying lately, Bantam feels kind of weird right now with all these interim titles fights going on. What's your opinion with all this?
I mean, I gotta agree with you. I mean, there's so many different interim titles out there. I mean, first you had Ibarola, he was the champion. Now all of a sudden he decided to walk off and into the sunset. I mean, I don't even know what's going on with that guy. But now we got Nathan Maines and Jamel Hearing fighting for the belt May 22nd. So I mean, I don't really know what's
Yeah.
going on in my tech. I thought, I mean, I would have thought that Reber would have had that chance, or the fight between Reber and Oxidine would have been for a belt or something like that. But I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, like I told you, I want that bullseye on my back. I don't care who has that belt around their waist come May 22nd. I don't care who wins out of the two. Um, I just know I want who's next. Like I said, I believe I'm top 5 contender, and I want the best of the best.
I mean, I love Reber, man. But he had 2 title shots. It's almost time for somebody else, right? Whoever wins this one.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would say so. I mean, Reber's my dog. I gotta give nothing but respect for him. Congratulations to him on his last fight. Reber's kind of like a training partner of mine. I've trained with him a couple times down in Clearwater, and I plan on training with him a couple more times moving forward. So I got nothing but respect for the guy. I'm so happy that he knocked out Oxidine, or put the works on Oxidine. Um, Welcome to BKFC. You know what I'm saying? But other
Yeah.
than that, I mean, like I said, whoever Nate Shook puts in front of me, it's about business at the end of the day. So
So you're a guy that's just gonna take whatever fights they bring your way, and you're not really looking to get a specific fight all the time, correct?
I mean, I go what Brandon says. I'm a man. I'm a fighter who believes in my
Okay.
management. I definitely believe that I have the best management right now with having Brandon and Justin Martinez behind me. I definitely feel, like I have the most confidence in them getting me the best fights. So whatever they have planned for me to next, that's what I believe in. I definitely have mentioned to them, just like they've mentioned to me, they definitely feel like that belt is next. So after we put away Hauser, I would definitely start looking, to get my belt shot.
That's what's up. And so you guaranteed a third straight victory after this one, right?
I mean, I would say I'm guaranteed a third win. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I put in too much work to be denied, and failing is not an option. And with having
And
Alex
I'm
Bello
not gonna
Ortiz,
lie, man.
hey, with having Alex Bello
Okay.
Ortiz on my sleeve, I can't lose.
I think a lot of people were shocked when you beat Rambo Russo. I think they had him highly favored over you, and I think that one definitely.
I've been the underdog in every fight I've gone into, and at the end of the day, the nightmare comes out on top.
Yeah, because you definitely he was on a come up, and you kind of put him back a few steps after that one.
Yeah, we had to burst that bubble. It was a long time coming. That kid he mouthed off. He was mouthing off for a whole year, running his mouth. I mean, he was messaging my wife. He was messaging, saying stuff about my kid.
What?
So I mean, it definitely got personal. So yeah, when that
Oh
fight was
man.
finally scheduled and the contract got signed, I couldn't wait to put my hands on him. And when I finally was able to, I mean, you see the outcome. So, and I believe that
Yeah.
that's his only loss as of right now. So every time he looks at that record sheet, he has to remember the day he fought the Nightmare.
And I'm guessing that one was pretty fulfilling for you since it got personal.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Like that's messaging your wife and stuff. That's going a little too far, man. In my opinion,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it was to the extreme. I mean, it got definitely a little too immature. I mean, he was sending me messages after messages on Instagram. Uh, it sounds like Daffy Duck going off on me, bro. I mean, it was more hilarious than anything else. I couldn't even really take it to heart or even get mad about it.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm too
So
professional for all that. Like I said, I've been doing this stuff for 23 years. I know it. It's all for publicity. At the end of the day, some of these guys don't know how to go about it the right way, and hopefully that they can learn in the long run and learn from their lessons. I mean, that's the best I can hope for.
So how does your training camp been going?
Oh, tremendously, man. I mean, I've been grinding now already for the last 2 months. The grind hasn't stopped. I've been, putting in 2 days, 3 days, just putting in work. I work out morning, afternoon, and at night, and I'm between 3 different gyms right now, and I love every bit of it. And I'm still ready to. I'm still getting ready to make my trip down to Florida to finish out my camp. So.
Okay, who you gonna be training with in Florida?
So I'm gonna make the trip down to Florida. I'll be training with my manager Brandon Gold and Rodney Hitton. I'll be working with those guys.
Oh, okay, Rodney. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, because he just signed with the management too, as well as my guy Anthony Yost.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got a bunch of killers on New Breed right now. We got a stacked roster.
Yeah, I love that name because it kind of I got a clothing apparel that's called New Litter, which is like dog based, so it kind of goes along with my clothing brand name, because we always used to call ourselves New Litter, the New Breed. So I definitely love the New Breed performance group.
Yeah, no,
So
you gotta love
so you ready for this fight, man? Right?
it. Beyond ready. I mean, I'm already on weight, healthy, eating great, mental's great. I have a great support system behind me. I mean, I couldn't be happier right now. I mean, life is good. Yeah.
One more question before we let you go and do some shout outs for sponsors or whatever. Like, what is something about you that fans might know outside of fighting?
That they don't know.
Yeah.
The fans that I don't have, or fans that I'm getting out, just learning, about me. The things that you can look out for me is just know that I'm fighting for all you people, all the people out there, all the people having a down and out day, and the poor who are struggling week to week. Just know that I'm here and I'm fighting for all of you guys, and that you know the Nightmare is the people's champ.
That's what's up, man. Before we let you go, is there any shout outs you want to do for any sponsors?
Uh, yeah, absolutely. I'd like to give Westland Westfit Food and Nutrition, Mike Toller, a big shout out to them. He's who has me in the best shape of my life right now. Also, I'd like to give another shout out to James Benetel. He's my coach over here at Stars and Strikes MMA. Without Stars and Strikes, I wouldn't be nowhere near the fighter I am today. So I gotta give a huge props and a huge shout out to them. Also to Wally's Chicken, and a few other ones out there. But yeah, big huge thanks to Motec Automobile. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As I can think of right now.
And those are all Michigan. Those are all Michigan-based businesses, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
That's what's up. Were you from Detroit?
Yeah. Yeah. Detroit, Michigan. Born and raised, and then currently, right now, I live in Westland.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, I
Yep.
appreciate you taking the time out, man. You're more welcome to come back on the show after you win your fight, man.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure. And like I said, anyone who's paying attention, please tune in June 26th. The Nightmare's taking over the show.
Well, that's what's up. I'll definitely be tuning in. Can't wait to see what goes on with the fight, man. And I wish you the best luck, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Hey, thank you. Nightmare out.
All right, peace. there you have it. Justin Nightmare Street says he's ready for his opponent, Ronnie Hauser. They will be fighting BKFC Fight Night Hammond, which is a Van Camp versus I know I'm about to butcher the name. Cisneros. June 26, 8 p.m. Eastern at Hammond Casino in Hammond, Indiana. Once again, that's versus Ronnie Hauser. And I can't wait to see that one as well. Fortunately, it's not fight week this week for BKFC, but I think next week is the Blood for Blood, which is like the heavy metal concert with 4 fights going on. Alex the Terrible versus Cameron Delano, the Bull Rider, Jake Boswick versus Roderick Stewart. And tomorrow we're going to interview Roderick Stewart as well. And you got Kratos versus Brock Walker and Taylor Starling versus Marisol Rules. And Marisol is definitely looking for her first win in the BKFC. Kratos is making his debut. And of course, Cameron Delano and Alex the Terrible, unfortunately, are 1-0, both looking to go to 2-0 as well. I don't know if that's gonna be streaming on the BKFC app and all that stuff, but I'm definitely gonna check it out and see what it's talking about. Let's see who tuned in on Instagram. Shouts out to my man James Dazel. Go check out the interview I did with him yesterday. Alexander Prince Gutierrez, appreciate you. Hammer, appreciate you. Troy Murphy, appreciate you. Yeah, Tony Murphy, Paul Pickett, we appreciate what you do for the fighters, giving us light to the next. Appreciate you, and I'm gonna definitely hit you up for an interview here real soon, Tony Murphy. And what events we still got left to come? Let me see. You got BKFC Palm Desert, Jamel Herring versus Nate Maness. A lot of people looking to see what happens with that belt. Still got BKFC 90 Birmingham, Tyranny versus Franco. You got BKFC Fight Night Hollywood, Lane versus Henry. That's going to be interesting. Still got Nashville, BKFC Nashville. Don't know what's going on with that yet. BKFC Fight Night Hammond, which is what Justin Street will be fighting on. You still got BKFC Liberty Brawl the day before July 4th, and that's in Philly. That should be a big event. And you got BKFC Serbia, man. Oh, Serbia is going to be nice. The Serbs are some tough motherfuckers, man. About to wrap it up, man. Shouts out to Justin Street for taking the time out to do the interview. Shouts out to my guy, Justin Martinez, over there at New Breed Performance Group. And I don't personally know Brandon Gold, but shouts out to him as well, because as he's also management for my guy Anthony Yost. And shouts out to my guy Anthony Yost, the Devil's Advocate. And tune in tomorrow. We got Roderick Icewater Stewart, who will be fighting at BKFC Blood for Blood. And what do we got? Oh, we got Yost. There he goes. Appreciate you. Love being a part of New Breed. And much love, man. Let's go. Yep. And I'm working on trying to do a show, like a recap show, or I'm going to probably try to get on maybe like a couple fighters to come on, and maybe 1 or 2 other bare knuckle podcasters or interviewers, and we all just do like a little recap of the fight cards after they happen, and just give a breakdown of what fight stood out, what didn't stand out, and anything else that makes any sense. All right, man, about to wrap it up. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.